I think we on Hognos on the strophe.
Uh, yep, I think it's up.
Okay, Khan, that's what's up. All right, Shalom, Akim, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
I'm gonna start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim, teach about the mind of wild mouth as a sincerity and truth. It's the brother from GMS Dallas. I got the brother Atazawan from GMS Wisconsin.
Right.
We've been getting into Matthew, going into Yahweh Shai, and introducing the world to Yahweh Shai according to the scriptures. We're gonna change the pace up just a little bit on this episode. We're gonna get into Acts chapter 7. You know what I'm saying? Because in the book of Matthew, we got up to chapter 26. It's getting into the Lord being betrayed and going on trial and later killed. You know what I'm saying? And with us coming in instead, the Spirit shifted directions, and we've been talking about Acts chapter 7 for a while because we come in the same stead as Stephen. You know, going out on the highways and the byways, going through the history of the nation of Israel, and making our foreheads and our faces hard, our own people's foreheads and faces, just like the scripture said. That the Lord said we was going to be made enemies for sake of the gospel.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all Israelites, whether you are of the elect or of the 2/3, you have a lot to feel in this time that we're living in, you know. And when you look at Acts chapter 7, you see that you can possibly be in that position, you know. But also keep in mind that the Lord said that in this go around, it's going to be some of the apostles and disciples that's not going to taste death. So as we get into this story and you see what happened to Stephen, also have in mind that this go around, if Stephen is back, more than likely he gonna end up getting spiritual power and being delivered instead of being killed. You see what I'm saying? So the prophecy says that eventually the prophets are gonna win.
That's right.
You know, you got something, bro?
Well, yeah, I just want to say real quick, and this chapter as well is a big cut on the church because he went through the history of who the Lord dealt with from the beginning until now, which was the Israelites. He went into Abraham, how the covenant was set up and it was established and sent through Moses, and then from Moses it transitioned to Joshua of delivering the Israelites, and then it transitioned to us having judges and rulers or kings over us, all the way until basically into the time of the Roman Empire, where Stephen was speaking about, because they was disputing about the Gentile situation as well, and they was letting them know that they have the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so it all plays a big part right now today, how we have to fight against our own nation on who gets the deliverance, man. You know, so it all ties up into one. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. No further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. There's a lot of history involved in this, you know. So we're gonna read it through, and through the spirit, whatever we can go ahead and grab throughout this. A lot of it is self-explanatory. It's just a lot of history. You know, you have to actually go and read yourself to know exactly what these things is talking about. You know, so but through the spirit, the elect is gonna get it, you know. But I got it, bro. I started on up.
That's what's up.
This is Acts, the 7th chapter, verse 1. Okay. It says, then said, I'm gonna say this is Stephen was being took on the council. So this was a in the midst of a council. Okay. So it says, verse 7 and 1, then said the high priest, are these things so? And he said, men, brethren, and fathers, hearken. The power of glory appeared unto our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelt in Haran, and said unto him, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred, and come into the land which I shall shew thee. Okay, and a backdrop of that history is because Abraham's father, and when they was in right when they was in that land, it was a lot of idol worshiping going on, man. Okay, so the Lord had separated Abraham from that idol worshiping life and brought him and was going to get his seed into the kingdom, okay, because of his faith. All
I
right.
said another thing for the people that's listening. When you go into these stories, go into this history,
Mhm.
yourself in Abraham's shoes. You know what I'm saying? As you go through the history of this chapter, it goes into Abraham, it goes into Moses, it goes into Joseph, right? All Israelites that were all in certain captivities that had the spirit of the Lord dealing with them for that certain point in time.
Mhm.
Hold up to you. You know what I'm saying? From the time you came into the truth up to now, and all the things that you've gone through that may be written about in the future, man. Lord, when we endure to the end?
That's right.
You can see yourself. You can see yourself, and you can see yourself in your walk through our forefathers and foremothers, man. You,
Yep.
so that's why I want to make sure understand what happened with Stephen. Put yourself in his shoes. You know what I'm saying, and then Lord willing, it'll further your understanding when you see what actually happened. You know, when you see it through the Spirit. You got it.
That's right. That's right. It says, verse 3, and he said unto him, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and come into the land which I shall shew thee. Okay.
I would
Then
say if you fast forward today, that's just like you moving out of your parents' house.
Mhm.
Right? The spirit jumped on you to move out of your parents' house because you got a job to do according to what the Lord got planned for you. Go ahead.
Then came he out of the land of the Chaldeans and dwelt in Haran. And from thence, when his father was dead, he removed him into this land wherein he dwell now. And he gave him none inheritance, Salakia, and he gave him none inheritance in it, no, not so much as to set his foot on. Yet he promised that he would give it to him for a possession and to his seed after him, when as ye had Salakia, when as yet he had no child.
Yeah,
Okay.
when you go into that history, Abraham was old. Abraham was older when he had his children. You know what I'm saying? He had the heathen, he had Hagar, and the heathen child. Then
Mhm.
he had Isaac, which was the chosen seed, and then
Mhm.
he ended up having like what 8 sons in all.
Yep.
Yeah, but he was in his older age when he started to have the children. So that's what Stephen is referring to.
Yep.
Going his breakdown. You got
Yep.
it.
And the Most High spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years. All right, and that's the history. Now, real quick, they try to use this in the Christian church. Well, not the Christian church. So, like, you got some Israelite camps who don't have that understanding. They try to use this scripture and say that it's talking about now of that 400 years of us going into from the transatlantic slave trade into America for 400 years, but that's not what it's talking about. All right, it's talking about the time that we became captives in Egypt. All right,
I got a quick precept for you.
you got it.
This is Genesis 15:3, just to back up our forefather Stephen. It says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. You see, going like the brother was saying, going back into the time of the when we was in captivity under the Egyptians. You see, the first 30 years we were there freely because of the works of Joseph. You know what I'm saying? And then once the Pharaoh died, once the Pharaoh that had favor on Joseph passed, you know what I'm saying? He gave it up. The new Pharaoh gave up that relationship with Joseph. You
Yep.
see, from that point, it was a 400-year span of where we were going to be in hardcore bondage under the Egyptians, which is fulfillment of that prophecy that of the vision that Abraham was given.
That's right.
It,
If you want to get real quick, Exodus 12 and 40, just to back you up on that 430 years.
uh, Exodus 12 and 40.
Come.
This is Exodus 12 and 40. It says, now sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years.
Yep.
came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt.
So that's it.
Done.
All right, going back into Acts, the 7th chapter, and verse 7. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, said the Most High, and after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place. And he gave him the covenant of circumcision, and so Abraham begat Isaac, and circumcised him the 8th day, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. Okay, now I want to grab something real quick off of that, because there goes the line of who had the promised seed right there. It went from Abraham, okay, to Isaac unto Jacob. Okay,
And that's in the New Testament.
And that's in the New Testament, right?
And you also have in the Apocrypha where it refers to the lot of Abraham falling on Jacob.
That's what I got right here.
Just back it up.
God, this is Sirach 44. I'm gonna start from 19. Abraham was a great father of many people, and glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law of the Most High and was in a covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, which was the foreskin circumcision. And when he was proved, he was found faithful. Okay. Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed, and that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, which were the Israelites, and exalt his seed as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land. And Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake, the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing, and gave him inheritance, and heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes. Did he part them?
I said, now you see how specific the Bible is when it's about the chosen people and all the things that apply to them. And you notice how you got all these people that come up against this truth, and they be like, well, anybody can be saved, or it was extended to the Gentiles. And what have y'all included us on that y'all got going? We don't have no spot in the UN. We don't have nobody to look out for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as far as on earth, you quick to attach yourself to the covenants and attach yourself to the promises, but then we ain't for nothing you got going. Not an invite, not a nothing.
Yeah.
You know? You got it.
All right, to keep it going. I'm gonna end off with Okay. Verse 9. Now it's finna go into Joseph. Okay. So basically it's just going straight to history. Okay, because you gotta understand that history, you know. It says, and the patriarchs moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt, but the Most High was with him and delivered him out of all his affliction. And just the history of that, you had Joseph, who had a dream. Okay, he had a dream that his brothers would basically bow down to him. Okay, and they were jealous and envious over Isaac, because he had made him a garment, a colorful garment, man. So they was jealous. They was jealous over Joseph because of that dream, man. All right, and this is, if you can, probably pull it up.
You already know.
God, I see it. Go ahead.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna start at verse 4. No, I'm gonna start at. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start at the top. This is Genesis chapter 37:1. It says, "And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives, and Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. When his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream and told his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. He said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf. And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and words. And he dreamed yet another dream and told his brethren and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. He told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come bow down ourselves to thee on the earth? His brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. Right? His father observed the same, realizing the prophecy. This might be their prophecy that was handed down from our father Abraham.
Yep.
See, he started to recognize.
Yep.
The brothers were all jealous, you see. And at the end of the day, all of this had to happen for the will of the Lord to play out anyway.
Came to pass.
You see, that's why, and that's why Stephen was going into the history, because all Israel knew that history, but all Israel didn't have the proper perspective on how to look at that history, looking at what was going on in that time. Look fast forward into the time that they was in.
Yep.
See? And then Stephen was there to break it down, and when he was breaking it down, they got offended. Same thing to be happening to us.
Yep.
Have a thorough understanding of the history. That's why when we break these things down, people get offended because that's not the history that they was taught.
And they call it hopscotch, like vocab Malone. How we jump from one precept to another precept to another precept. Well, we got to give the full understanding. The scripture says, through thy precept, I get understanding. So as we breaking down things in Romans, we're gonna have to go to possibly Deuteronomy or Genesis or something like that to give that whole history,
Okay, and then the whole thing about the Hebrew hopscotch. When have you seen any Christian go into a whole chapter on anything? So that's another hypocritical aspect of their doctrine. You can always say we use the whole Bible. You use one scripture, but you find fault with us. Nah, man, get out of here.
Yeah,
you got it.
Okay, so that's the history, man. All right, going back to verse 9. And the patriarchs, moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt, but the Most High was with him. This is going to lead up into that dream of Genesis. It says, and delivered him out of all his afflictions, and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, because the king of Egypt, he had a dream. He had a dream about the Darth. And as well as he had, I think when Joseph was thrown into prison because of the situation with the Pharaoh's wife, he had interpreted dreams in the prison, and that gave him favor with men. It says, and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he made him governor over Egypt and all his house. Now there came a dearth over all the land of Egypt and Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers found no sustenance. But when Jacob heard there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first. And at the second time, Joseph was made known to his brethren, and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh. Okay, now this is leading up to the point where that 30 years that the brother was speaking about of us being in Egypt with that peace for a certain period of time. Okay, then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him and all his kindred, 50 souls. So Jacob went down into Egypt and died, he and our fathers. Okay, and were carried over into Shechem and laid in the sepulchre that Abraham bought for a sum of money of the sons of Hamor, the father of Shechem. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which the Most High had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt. Okay, and that goes back into that Genesis about him being how his seed is going to be in a strange land for 400 years. This is when everything started to come about.
Mm-hmm.
Till another king arose, which knew not Joseph. The same dwelt subtly with our kindred and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young children to the end they might not live. All right, that's when they start putting us in slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, but we was building up the temples and all the pyramids and all of that history. In which time, and you can read that in Exodus. Actually, let me jump real quick, and I get that out of Exodus, the first chapter, real quick.
Come on.
This is Exodus 1 and 1. Yeah. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls. For Joseph was in Egypt already. And Joseph died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly, and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come and let us deal wisely with them, lest there multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with burdens, and they built Pharaoh treasure cities of Python and Ramesses. Okay, but they more than afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made their children of Israel to serve with rigor, which is hardcore slavery. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of one was Sapara, or Shapar, I believe, and the name of the other Puha. And he said, when ye do the office of the midwives to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Okay, and they was basically trying to cut off that line of Israel, man. All right, just like they try to do today. They trying to cut off that seed line, man.
All right. Yeah, what Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood. All that.
Planned Parenthood is they way of trying to kill out the prophets.
Yep.
Just like they tried to kill Yahushua, just like they tried to kill Moses.
Right.
Get them when they and that's the same thing now, man. That's why the Lord prophesied that we're gonna have to get rid of Esau, because in Genesis he a serpent, and in Revelation he a dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns.
Yeah.
They say as soon as they come out the womb, they be speaking lies. So you got to get them while they're young. So the concept is there. The concept makes sense. It's just trying to do that to the Lord's chosen people ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So just to jump in that history, I'm gonna go back now. Verse 20 in Acts the 7th to 20th chapter. Acts 7th chapter and the 20th verse. In which time Moses was born and was exceedingly fair, and nourished up in his father's house 3 months. And when he was cast out, Pharaoh's daughter took him up and nourished him for her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of Egypt, and was mighty in words and in deeds. And when he was full of 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel.
That's what I'm saying. So that's when Moses was woken up. The Lord woke Moses up when he was 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? He woke him up so he could fulfill his lot. He woke Moses up so Moses could fulfill his lot, man. 40 years old.
It says, verse 24, and seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed and smote the Egyptian. For he supposed his brethren would have understood how that the Most High by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. And it's just like now, man. They don't understand that that Yahweh Shema Shai set up the prophets, man. So for their salvation, man, you know, to warn them. It says, for he supposed his brethren would have understood how that the Most High by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. And the next day he shewed himself unto them as they strove, and would have set them at one again, saying, sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one another? But he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, who made thee a ruler and judge over us?
And what I'm saying, you see how Stephen going into that history. Have we read about that same account in the scriptures?
Yep.
In the scrolls about what Moses, about this very account. That's what I'm saying. It's a buildup. When we go into the history of how rebellious Israel get mad, same thing is happening here.
Yep.
You see, he was like, see, back during the time of Moses,
yep,
going through it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It said, but he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, who made thee a ruler and a judge over us? Wilt thou kill me as thou didst the Egyptian yesterday? Then fled Moses at this saying, and was a stranger in the land of Midian. Midian, where he begat 2 sons. And when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness of Mount Sinai an angel of the Lord in a flame of fire in a bush. When Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight, and as he drew near to behold it, the voice of the Lord came unto him, saying, I am the power of thy fathers, the power of Abraham, and the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Then Moses trembled and durst not behold. Then said the Lord to him, put off thy shoes from thy feet, for the place where thou standest is holy ground. I have seen the affliction of my people, which is in Egypt, and I have heard their groaning, and I am come down to deliver them. And now come I will send Egypt unto Salakia, and now come I will send thee into Egypt. This Moses whom they refused, saying, who made thee a ruler and judge, the same did the Most High send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush.
That's what I'm saying. And that angel that appeared to him in the bush, the same thing happened to him when he came. When the Lord was saying, I am the Son, and if you follow me, you can get to the Father. They rejected him. Who made you a ruler over us? Who made you a ruler over us? Talking no and bucking up. You see, the same thing. Same thing be happening with us. Ah, man, we know you, man. We remember when you used to smoke blunts and do this and all that.
Yep.
You can't tell me nothing.
Yep.
Hey, man, it is what it is. You know, got it. You got it.
Okay. It says, he brought them out after that. He shewed, Salakia, let me. Verse 35. This Moses whom they refused, saying, who made thee a ruler and judge, the same did the Most High to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared unto him in a bush. He brought them out. After that, he had shewed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt, and in the Red Sea, and in the wilderness 40 years. All right.
You know, I was saying, you see how Stephen going through all the times Israel dropped the ball, all the times the Lord sent somebody, and all the times we dropped the ball. And the more he went, the more the history got closer to the times that they was living in, the madder they got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they realize that if we let him keep on going, eventually he gonna be talking about me.
Yep. Y'all the same ones, man. The same ones that was murmuring, the same ones that was talking shit, the same ones that
Man.
rise up against Moses to do your own thing. All right, it's the same cycle, and that's why he was cussing y'all out, man. He was
Mm-hmm.
cussing y'all the hell out, man. You know, it says this is this is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your power raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me, him shall ye hear. All right. I mean, just like now, and they got a title over here. It says raising up a prophet. Hey, and that's what the Lord did to us, man. He rose us up through the Spirit. All right. I think it's in Isaiah where it said he hid us in his quiver. You know, that's throughout the time we were born until the time appointed for us to be a prophet, man. You know, he hid us in his quiver into that said time. You know, it says this is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. It's like you. To whom, and another thing, the oracles and the miracles, man. Hey, they was being shown miracles in the wilderness, and Jake was still bugging out and tripping, man. You know, it's just like now. Well, I can bring it back into these times, as far as the time period of the scriptures. When Yahushua came, what was he doing? He was doing miracles, man, right in front of him. You know, Yahushua was the one who was doing the miracles, giving Moses the miracles, man. All right, and they rejected him. They rejected that light. You can read that in John the 1st chapter, how when the light had came, all right, and then the people deeds was of darkness. You know, it says verse 39, to whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back again unto Egypt, saying unto Aaron, make us gods to go before us. For as for this Moses, which brought us out of the land of Egypt, we would not what become of him. Yeah, man, because Moses had went up to get the commandments, man.
Right. And he was gone. He was gone for 40 days.
Yep.
Yeah. He was
So
gone. He was gone. He was gone for 40 days. You know what I'm saying? Which is a little bit over a month. So y'all have been in the wilderness for over 40 years, seen all these miracles, got delivered from Egypt, all these different things, and in a little bit over a month, all that was gone.
Yep.
You see? And that's what Stephen was saying. He was like, look, man, every single time the Lord come through for us, we mess it up.
Yep.
You see? How much more now? How much more now?
Jake is fucking through, man.
In the information age, you can be lazy and still get all the information you need. You know? So with the truth being available as it is, with the internet being flooded the way the Spirit of the Lord got us doing it, for us to drop the ball at this point, that's what I would say. That's why the Lord made that separation, man. The and the 2/3, man.
Yep.
You know, go ahead.
Okay. And it says, Jake has went back to fucking idol worshiping, man. Jake is stupid. But verse 41, and they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifice unto the idol and rejoiced in the works of their own hands. Now here it is. Jake was just delivered, seeing Moses, heard the story of Moses turning the staff into a serpent and consuming the witches and warlocks and those magicians in Egypt serpent. All right, the splitting of the Red Sea,
all the plagues,
all the plagues, and they was delivered from all those plagues, man. It didn't go into basically the land of Goshen, because that's where Goshen was a land where Joseph had set his brothers and his father there. Okay, so Israel was actually in a separate land in Egypt, but all of Egypt was being consumed. And in Goshen, nothing never came towards Goshen. Nothing came towards where the Lord had placed y'all at in that area, man. So y'all got delivered from hella things, man, and went back. And they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifices to idol and rejoiced in the works of their own hands. Then the Most High turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven, as it is written in the book of the prophets. O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? All right. And let me get real quick. I want to get the history on that in the Exodus 32 about that the calf real quick.
Con. Shalom to the comment board. I see Zaquan Monaghan on there. Okay. Something say. Okay, when we was talking about Planned Parenthood, right? We shows you the woman does not determine nationality, or else they would have killed the female babies, right?
Hey, God, it's a perfect observation. This is Exodus 32. I'm gonna start from 15 real quick. I'm gonna read it. I'm kind of speed read it. This is Exodus 32 and 15. And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the two tables of testimonies were in his hand. The tables were written on both sides, on the one side and on the other were they written. And the tables were the work of the Most High, and the writing was the writing of the Most High, graven upon the tables. And when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp. So them niggas was partying that damn hard. It sounded like a goddamn war zone.
Man. Listen, that's how the Israelite groups be partying now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super turned up.
Damn. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hand and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the waters and made the children of Israel drink of it. God damn.
Yeah. Drink
that shit. And Moses said unto Aaron, what did this people unto thee? That thou hast,
you see what Moses did? He was that hot. And that was the spirit of the Lord that was on him that made him do that. Melt that down and made him drink it.
Yep, drink that
shit. You know what I'm saying? But then fast forward to today, you can't even tell Jake carefully constructing your words that he going off.
Or that he shouldn't be having that damn unk on his damn neck, or that damn cross in all gold, you know? Straight idol worshiping, man.
Good, man. I would say and the Lord is gonna give his prophets that strength again to kill people, man. To judge. Yeah. Because the men of the Lord gonna be judged by the law. Yeah. Man. You see, and if your sins are punishable by death,
there's a wrap for you. Well, that's what's gonna happen in the wilderness, man. The wilderness all over again says we're gonna purge out. So if you got Jake anywhere who's still with that folly, hey, Yahushua said, bring them hither and slay them before me, man.
God.
You know? So let's see. Well, that's pretty much it. I was looking for a point. It was a part where he told the priests to go get their swords and slay them on the other side. We had all the sons of Levi. Let me just jump to that part real quick.
Come on, that's what's up. We ain't in no hurry.
It says, This is good. Verse 25, it says, and when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies. Now, it wasn't talking about literal naked. When you go into Revelation, that naked talks about you going off, or you was in idolatry, man. You know, you was worshiping idols. So that made you naked. And that's what happened to, not to jump off, but in Genesis, Adam and Eve, man, when they said that they were naked because they was off of the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. And the children of Levi did according to the word of Moses, and there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men. Okay, 3,000 men were slaughtered because of that idol worshiping shit, man. All
That's
right.
what I'm saying, man. And that didn't go away, man. But that's why the scriptures keep on saying, "Thus saith the Lord," and vengeance is His. The Lord said, "Look, look, I want y'all to see the wickedness the way that I see it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I want you to have patience. I have patience.
That's right.
You see, and when you show me that you can worship my son the way you're supposed to worship me, I'll take care of the rest.
Yep.
You know,
That's
and
right.
that's what we understand our lot fully. You see, that's why we feel the way we feel about this place. That's why we say the things we say. But at the end of the day, just like we going into this church, that's what Stephen was doing.
Yep.
That's what Stephen was doing, and he did it all the way up until they killed him.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's right. All right, that's it on that. I'm gonna go ahead and jump back into Acts the 7th chapter, and I'm gonna start back from verse 41. And they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifice unto the idol and rejoiced in the works of their own hand. Then the Most High turned and gave them up to worship the host of heavens. As it is written in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness. Yea, he took up the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your god Rephan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you always beyond Babylon. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen, which also our fathers that came after brought in with it says Jesus, but this is talking about Joshua, okay?
Right.
Joshua, and you can prove that when you go into Sirach, the 46th chapter as well. But it's going to keep going. It says, into the possession of the Gentiles, whom the Most High drove, it's like it, who the Most High drave out before the face of our fathers unto the days of David. Okay, so that was just a history point that Joshua, he had helped assist in leading the children of Israel into the land of Canaan. And real quick, this is Sirach 46. And this proves that the name, it couldn't be Jesus, man. When you read it now you got IUIC says that once upon a time they had said that, well, it says Jesus, so I'm gonna say Jesus. But what do you do when you explain this part? When it's talking about Joshua, you know?
I was like, you see how they quick to always, I'm from the tribe of Judah. How you know?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It say Judah in the scriptures. It say Judah in the scriptures, but it don't say so-called Negroes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that they pick and choose.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff they want to believe, certain stuff they don't want to believe, but you got to believe all of it, man.
Right. Right. Real quick, just to prove it, it's verse 45. This is Sirach 46. It says Jesus, the son of Nave, was violent in wars. Okay, now was who the world called Jesus? Was he was the Messiah in war? No. Okay, and was a successor of Moses in the prophecies, who according to his name was made great for the saving of the elect of the Most High.
That's
And
what I'm
taking
saying. Yah meaning he, Howard Shai meaning deliverer.
deliverer.
His original name was Howard Shai. Moses changed his name to Yah Howard Shai, and that's what it's referring to.
Deliverer, right? And taking vengeance of the enemies that rose up against them, that he might set Israel in their inheritance. And that was talking about Joshua. Okay, and it goes right back into Joshua, you can say, in verse 45. So verse 45 again, which also our fathers that came after brought in with Joshua into the possession of the Gentiles, whom the Most High drave out before the face of our fathers when they took that over, all right, unto the days of David, who found favor before the Most High and desired to find a tabernacle for the power of Jacob, or the God of Jacob. But Solomon built him an house. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
I will say, and that's going. I will say, and that's going from. I will say that's going from the time of Joshua up until the time of David, up until the time of Solomon. You see, going through the history, just like we do, going according to what's in the scrolls. Go ahead.
Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet.
And the reason why the Lord don't dwell in temples made with hands is because our other two temples have been destroyed.
Yep.
And then those other two temples, it was still wickedness going on with Israel.
Yeah.
You know, even though Solomon had the 40 years of peace, at the end, the temple was rent. Yep. The rulership was rent.
Yep.
See? So fast forward to the spiritual temple, the Lord makes sure he programmed the laws, he programmed the understanding into our inward parts, so that this way that would be negated.
That's right.
You see, I can't dwell in the temple made with hand, bricks and mortar and all that type of stuff. Look, I'm gonna dwell in my men. I'm gonna dwell in my people. I'm gonna dwell in my elect.
That's
you
right.
See, because the elect will not be corrupted. You see, you can the elect can't be corrupted up here. You see, you can't tear down the building. It's pure. You see, when Yahweh Hashem Yahweh dwells in you, your actions are pure. Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians 3:16. It says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you."
You see that? You see that? That's what I'm saying. Esau can't destroy that.
That's right.
You can't blow that up or burn it down like you did the temple or like you did Black Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And another thing, you can't tell what everybody looked like because the Lord scattered us amongst all nations. If all Israelites looked exactly the same, he would have been rounded us up and got rid of us.
It's a chess move.
It was a curse as well as a blessing, because it was a curse so we can learn from our mistakes, but it was a blessing so we can't all just be rounded up. You got it.
Yep. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? And if any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy, for the temple of the Most High is holy, which temple ye are.
That's what I'm saying. So you gotta protect your own spirit. You gotta protect your own temple, man.
And it's with the knowledge.
That's what I'm saying, man. And the Lord said that he already set aside a group of men that wasn't gonna fall to nothing that happens in this place, man.
Yep, those virgins that wasn't beguiled.
That's what I'm saying. And Stephen was one of those men, man. You know, we talk about it all the time, man. But when we get to the point in the chapter where they killed Stephen, man, we through the Spirit, man, we don't think he felt it, man.
Mm-mm.
And we got our reasons for thinking that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep. But yep, just to prove what you were saying about the temple. All right, and just to make sure the temple couldn't have been built under King David because he had too much blood on his hands, man.
Right.
Okay. So
the scriptures tell us that.
Yep. So it rested upon Solomon, okay, because Solomon's 40-year peace was a foreshadowing of things to come, which in the reincarnation he came back as Yahushai. Okay, so Solomon's Yahushai, and that's when it's going to be fully established in everlasting life, man. But Yahushua had to die for his sins. Okay, so then when he died for his sins, he defeated death, and death was that sin. So now he gave us the Spirit, and he made that second covenant, which we were gonna get the laws written within our inward parts, man, and we will live forever, and we won't go off anymore. Okay.
I will say, then you see how many times 40 come up, man. I will say Moses was up there for he was 40 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, was in the truth for 40 years before he had his sons. Then he was up on Mount Sinai for 40 days. They was in the wilderness for 40 years. King David ruled for 40 years. King Solomon ruled for 40 years. The Lord was on a 40-day fast. When he got to the Masay, with Noah in his 40 days and 40 nights in the rain. Oh man, 40 just keep on coming up.
It's that mercy.
The Lord was with the disciples at his resurrection for 40 days. So 40 days is obviously enough time to establish some stuff.
Yep. Sorry.
That was just a little side note that we can get back to the topic, but yeah, I just thought about that.
Okay. It says, verse 48, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? You know, and another, and part of the reason why Stephen was saying that, because back in that time of the Roman Empire, they marveled at those temples of worships, man. They were doing nothing but wickedness in it, man. You know, they was on the tables and defrauding Jake, making a house of merchant. Okay, they were taking money from the Romans and things like that, man. Okay, so the Lord, he wasn't dwelling in those places, man. All right, and you can bring it up to today too with these grove churches, temples on each corner where Jake is living at, man. You know. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will you build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? Had not my hand made all these things?
All right, now check this out. Now here's where the curse out gonna start. He went through all that history. Right? He went through all the history of the nation of Israel, from the top all the way down to the people who he was standing in front of talking to.
Yep.
And watch this curse out.
It says, ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears.
Yeah, in heart and ears, because they Israelites. They was Israelites. Circumcised in heart and ears. They hadn't been woken up yet to what was going on.
Yep.
You see? Go ahead.
Ye do always resist the Holy Spirit, as your fathers did, so do ye.
That's what I'm saying. And did not Yahushua go into the same thing in Matthew chapter 23? You see?
Same thing.
So Stephen is that same spirit.
Yep. That's right. It says, which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted, and have slain them? Now, throughout the history that he was given, we have Jeremiah's, and we have the Isaiah's, and we have the Baruch's, and we have the Daniel's. We have all those brothers within those certain time periods, man. And when you're going into those time periods, you will see that Jake always came up against Israel, always came up against the prophets, man. Okay, Isaiah had a whole family up after him, man. You know, it says, which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? He said, basically, y'all known for this shit. And have slain them which shew before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers.
That's what I'm saying. They freed Barabbas, man.
Yep.
They chose to free Barabbas. Go ahead.
Yep. Who have received the law of the dispensation of angels, and have not kept it.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. You've been given this word. You've been given this truth. Every time the Lord send the prophets, y'all kill them and do what y'all want to do. Go ahead.
Yep. Let me grab this precept real quick. 2 Chronicles. Let's see. Oh man. Slack. Let me see. Second Chronicles 36. Second Chronicles 36 and 16. You know what? 14. Second Chronicles 36 and 14. Moreover, all the chief of the priests and the people transgressed very much after all the abominations of the heathen, and polluted the house of the Lord Yahweh, which he had hallowed in Jerusalem. And the Lord Yahweh, our power of their fathers, sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. Okay, so the Lord had compassion, so he was sending the prophets early in the morning to get you niggas right. Okay, each empire, each time period, or each captivity, I should say. The reason why we went into captivity is because Jake was going to fuck off. So he kept on sending the prophets to you. All right. And he said, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place, but they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord Yahweh arose against his people till there was no remedy. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what happened. That's what happened to Stephen, man. See, they did what they wanted to with the prophet of the Lord.
Yep. Let's see.
He did the same thing the Lord did, but we'll wait until we get to the end. He handled being murdered for no reason by his own people the same way the Lord did.
Okay.
You got it.
Yep. Verse 52. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them which shew before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers, who have received the law by the dispensation of the angels, and have not kept it. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gnashed on him with their teeth.
That was it. They got mad because the truth hurt, man.
Yep. Now it says that it's a discerner in thoughts.
Oh yeah, get that Hebrews 4.
Yeah, Hebrews 4. He was cutting the hell out of him, man.
Like 4 and 12, I think.
Yeah. Shit, they had discombobulated, man. Yep. This is Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart. Hey, so that word had got to their inner parts. It got deep down to him, man.
Yep, and Stephen kept on going.
Yep. But he, being full of the Holy Spirit, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of the Most High, and Yahweh standing on the right hand of the Most High.
Now stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. Right. This is, but he was full of the Holy Spirit and looked steadfastly into heaven. That's what I'm saying. He was focused on looking at Yahweh Shai sitting on the right hand side of the Father, man. He was focused on that more than he was focused on everybody locked and loaded, ready to throw stones at him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't worried about it. It's like he was looking up at the glory of Yahweh Shai. That's why we feel through the Spirit that he might not even felt nothing. You know, he was doing the work. He was doing the work until his spirit left his body.
Yep. Hey,
you know what I'm saying? That's an example of enduring to the end.
That's right. That's right.
That's a prime example of enduring to the end. You see, it's gonna come upon a time to where young brothers like us are gonna be in that same position. You see, and we want to be written about as though Stephen was written about. Yep. He focused on the glory, not the stones.
Yep.
See, you got it. If you want to say anything,
yeah, well, like what did Bruce Lee tell his student? he said, focus on the heavenly glory. It was a scene. It was a scene where he had his finger. He was pointing to the pointing to the further distance, and I guess he smacked him in the back of his head or something like that.
Oh yeah, he was only looking at his hand.
Yeah, he was paying attention to the hand, but he wasn't paying attention to that heavenly glory, man. So basically, we paying attention to the end game, man. The hope. You see, we're not paying attention to the shit, the bombs and sirens and things like that that's blowing up in our faces, man. We looking further ahead, man.
Yep, I was like Matthew 6 say, if your eye be single, be full of light.
That's right.
And Stephen's eye was obviously single.
Oh yeah, he was heavily impacted with the spirit, man.
You know? Go ahead.
It says, let's see. Verse 57. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord and cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witness laid down their clothes at a young man's feet, whose name was Saul. And they stoned Stephen, calling upon the Most High and saying, Lord Yahushua, receive my spirit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He was in the middle of getting stoned, man, but he was still calling upon the name of the Lord, bro. He was still calling on the name of the Lord while he was being stoned, bro.
That's a heavy sense of faith, man.
You know, I'm gonna read this last verse. It says, and he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. That's what I'm saying, bro. The Lord said, don't lay this sin to their charge because they don't know what they're doing. Which further proves that the Lord said that we was made enemies for the sake of the gospel, man.
Yep.
You know, Paul wasn't the only member of the elect that was standing there when Stephen got stoned. You know? So, man, look, hey, we can be in the same shoes. Matter of fact, get that word say shall not taste death. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick.
I think like John 9. I know it's something 9 and 1, where the prophet shall not taste death. I think it's John 9, maybe.
Okay, we got one in we got one in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. I'm gonna read all three of them.
Mark,
Matthew 16:28, it says, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Mark 9, it says that he said unto them, verily I say unto you, there be some of them that stand here which shall not taste of death. They see the kingdom of the Most High come with power. Luke 9:27, it says, but I tell you of a truth, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the kingdom of the Most High.
That's right.
And Stephen looked up and he saw the kingdom of the Most High right before he passed on. But we look up, Lord willing, we those, man, and we gonna see the kingdom of heaven. And whatever they hit us with ain't gonna be able to prosper because the Lord said there ain't no weapon that they got gonna work against you.
That's right.
You see, contrary to popular belief, they weapons didn't work on Stephen.
That's right.
Just like they're not gonna work on like-minded men, man. Lord willing, we those.
That's right.
You got anything else?
Yep, I got some real quick. This is 1 Thessalonians 4:13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. Okay, so it's talking about those that are alive and remain is going to be caught up with whoever has the martyrs that has passed on, that has died, who was in this truth. They're going to be rose up first, and those men that will be alive and remain, okay, who have that faith, is going to be delivered. Okay, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, okay, with the voice of the archangel and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we live, so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words, man. So you got to comfort one another with these words that, hey, man, if you keep your faith in Yahweh Shem Shai, man, hey, he's gonna come and deliver you, man. Hey, Job said that he's gonna see his redeemer in the flesh, man. Okay, he said he's gonna see the Lord basically in his flesh, man. All right. So when the Lord returns, all right, those that have that faith in him, those that have did this work, that's what it really means. He that endureth unto the end. Okay? Through that faith. You got it out.
Hey man, that's it. I ain't got nothing else. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings. I can teach about the Mayam Wa'amat. That's in sincerity and truth. Shalom.
Shalom, Bob the Ball.